Oh,
Hey, this is your girl Queen T, aka Tyohnah White. And today I have my best friend with me today. Introduce yourself.
hi, I'm Serena.
So it's been a while. It's been a minute since we've done Mom's Not Alone, just kind of just gathering our lives, getting it together, just trying to create content and just everything like that. So I have missed y'all. So on today topic, I want to kind of do this. I was saying like probably try to drop 2 episodes a week. One is just more so just something more therapeutic, like kind of just checking in with yourselves. So we don't have Miss Pastor Dory with us today, but she will be with us next episode. But I wanted to bring my best friend on here because she's someone that has been very therapeutic. She's been really getting me through times. And even though she's not a mom, so we'll make that clear, we won't always have moms on here, but just, because we had Miss Tommy on here since she wasn't a mom. But these are women that inspire women, inspire mothers. So I wanted to bring Serena on here today. But I wanted, I guess, Serena, just give them a little detail of who you are, your occupation, etc.
Well, of course, my name is Serena. I am a mental health therapist part-time. I also work full-time as a social worker as well. And love to travel and get to know different culture, which can help me with my clients base-wise, because we're all from different backgrounds. So understanding other people is a great way for me to travel and be able to better help my community. I'm also a full-time student. Yeah, I'm pretty busy. So,
Yes. Am I
but
frozen? All right, hold on. Let me know if you can see me. Okay. Just realized something was weird. I think my network is good. Okay. What about now? Okay. All right. I still look frozen, but all right. Keep going. I'm sorry. Just trying to
no
make
worries. In my free time, I like to work out, spend time with friends where I'm able to.
sure.
But overall, I just love spending time with myself and just doing things for myself. It's a lot more peaceful and just getting to know who I am, falling in love with that person.
And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Just the importance of taking time for yourself and getting to know you. Um, when did you realize that it was important to take time for yourself?
Uh, I would say when you notice that you are neglecting yourself and just pleasing other people more than yourself. So sometimes we say yes and we don't really mean yes, but we're
Right.
trying to make the other person happy.
Do you like if someone was to ask you like, are you okay? Do you just say, yeah, I'm okay? Or do you kind of get in depth? Like if you aren't okay that day, do you kind of get in depth where, okay, I'm not okay?
Uh, so depending on the situation, in the past, I would say yes, put a mask up, say I'm fine. But on the inside, it's like I'm tearing apart. I'm like breaking down because I'm trying to be so strong for other people. But now, if I'm not okay, I vocalize it. I'm gonna tell you.
And that was something that I did most recently. My cousin hit me up and she was just like, it was weird that she asked that, but it wasn't weird. She was just like, are you okay? And I was like, at first I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, do I seem off? Like I asked her, do I seem off? And she was like, no, just I feel like it's important to check in. And then that's when I was like, well, I'm actually not okay. This is how I'm feeling. But I've had those moments, especially being being a mom, I could say, and I would say people, I'm not going to generalize like a specific, like we'll say family and friends. And I always, sometimes people could tend to tell you what to do, or tell you what you're doing wrong, or like, oh wait, don't do it that way, or they're telling you all the stuff, and I'm like, dang, I would like, can you say, hey, how you feeling today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you check on my mental? And I'm more vocalizing that, like, why don't you see how I'm doing? Like, why is it always a demand, or why is it always something that you feel like you got, especially when you're doing a lot. So when you feel like you're doing a lot, and then people are still trying to put more on the plate, or tell you what you should be doing, tell you what you shouldn't be doing. It could become like, you know, like, especially when you're going through stuff mentally, it can be a lot. Like,
Yes,
it adds more to the pot, to the fuel. You get what I'm saying?
it is. And sometimes it's like when you're so used to being a strong person, people don't notice that because they think, oh, you're okay. We don't need to check on you. But even the strongest person need to be checked on because they might be fighting a battle. They're afraid to put on someone else. So I think that's what other people have to understand too. It's like, okay, let me reach out and check on them too and see what they're going through. Because there's so much going on in society right now. And everybody's fighting that individual battle. So even though that person wants to be there for you, you still got to understand, I got to be there for them.
Right.
Just let them breathe because it's hard. Coming from someone who is extremely good at masking her feeling, it's hard when you have to fight those battles alone. Even though you're not alone, you feel like you have to sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely feel like that. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like it's like, if you could get more in depth, the importance of talking to somebody or the importance of therapy and stuff like that? Like, do you feel like that's important?
Yes. Because growing up, I was always told to like kind of deal with it on my own. I had to like handle my own problem. Then as I got older, I realized those problems are consuming me because I'm not talking, I'm not sharing. I'm trying to handle it on my own. So it just got so overwhelmed that you start to break down on your own. So kind of having someone to just give it all to, I don't want to say like a burden, but just let it all out. Is that, wow, it's like a whole weight is lifted off my shoulder. Sometimes you want to talk to a family and friends, but it's not always the same.
Right. And and how was it in your journey where being told to kind of keep stuff to yourself and then going out and seeking therapy and talking to someone? Like, what was that journey like?
It was hard because now I had to like fully trust someone else and just have them help me through something when I'm so used to being like a fighter on my own and just doing it myself. So it's like when I first started therapy with my own individual therapist, I literally threw everything at this lady that I have been holding on for so long. I'm like, oh my God, I've been holding all of these things instead of speaking out about it or just talking to someone that's close to me about it. It's like, wow, that's a whole different feeling. It's that once you get it off, now it's no longer in your head. Now you're no longer overthinking about it. Now it's out.
No, I definitely, I think that's true because when I, especially like what I was told growing up was like don't really tell people your business. It was more of that. It was the stigma of, especially when you're raised in Christian households, it's more of like, just pray about it, go to God, right? But God puts people on this earth. He puts people as psychologists, spiritual psychologists, like Christian psychologists. He puts therapists. He puts even like the minister of the church or the pastor or the bishop. He puts people on earth to be able to, for you to be able to talk to, for you to be able to seek counsel in. So, faith without work is dead. So it's like, you can't just, okay, I'm gonna pray about it and then I'm gonna let God handle it. So if my job is getting on my nerves, I'm just gonna quit my job and pray about it. And no, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to still work towards it. So I do, like, I could say specifically when I was in college, that was the first time that I went to seek counsel. It was, my aunt passed away and I was going through a lot at that time, and it helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? It definitely helped me a lot. And also I seek counsel when I was becoming a mom and stuff like that. And then now in my life, I talk to you, you know what I'm saying? And I think you're like a very good, like, whenever I'm going through something, I just, talk to you, like, and it'd be like a lot. But what I like is that you just hear me out. And you always kind of just give good advice. I could definitely say that. But I do think it is important for people in general to always just have someone to talk to, because you can't navigate this thing called life by yourself. Always put God in the center of it, but always go out there and seek counsel and someone that you could just talk to on a day-to-day basis, or even once a week. You know what I'm saying? Someone that you could just check in with. And I think that is important.
Yeah, it is. And especially for us people of color, there's a whole stigma that we're not supposed to go to therapists because we don't trust a lot of them. But it's like, you go through so much trauma growing up, even though you might not identify as a trauma, but once you start to talk about it, you start to put the puzzles together. It's like, oh my God, is that why I act this way? Is that why I don't have a trust for this person? I would say, like relationship wise with parents, right? A lot of the time when we go through something our older life, it starts from little time. So
Right.
what you went through with your parents kind of lead into your personal relationship. For example, if you like, I never had a close relationship with my dad, so I kind of had to like learn in therapy. That's the reason why I ended up in a relationship that I ended up with, because I was dating people who was like my dad. So it's
Right.
like therapy kind of help you see things differently and kind of put those patterns that you're not recognizing, and you're able to change it now on how you want to go.
That's deep, but it's true. It's true. You know what I'm saying? And I could say I even had like, especially when it comes to the father aspects, I've seen a lot of stuff that was just like within my life of people coming in and out, playing with your heart, allowing it. You know what I'm saying? And then the more you grow, it's kind of like, I'm not going to just allow you to do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
I always say, this is your life. You hire, you fire people as you please. You know what I'm saying? You can always be kind, but don't let people control your mental. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them control your life and basically dictate how your story is going to begin and finish. You know what I'm saying? Like that was one of my biggest things in life. And I feel like because I do have people to talk to and, you know, and praying and stuff like that, I feel like each day I'm growing as a person. You actually see the growth each time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One other thing that I did want to talk about today is the importance of spending time with yourself, the importance of like just doing things by yourself. I know you travel, you know, states and countries by yourself, go out to eat by yourself. Like you're someone that pretty much, you know, when did that start? Like how was that journey of you realizing you had to do, like, just go out and enjoy yourself?
Good question. So it I always thought that I needed people like all my life, because I was a only child majority of my life. So I was like, okay, I need people. I feel like I have to be around someone. I have to do things with people. Then the more I saw people like disappointing me after and after and after, it got exhausting. So I'm like, why go somewhere I want to travel with someone who's like negative? So I was
Right.
like, you know what? I book a trip randomly because I do things impulsive someday. I was just sitting, I was like, okay, let me just book a trip. Book a trip. My very first trip was to Tennessee. Everybody thought I was going with someone else, but I just went on that trip by myself. When I did that, it was scary at first. It was alone. It was lonely, especially being in a state that's like dominant, like white and not that much of people of color. I was terrified. So when I got there, I kind of make sure I was like, okay, you got this. You got to kind of depend on yourself now to get yourself through things. So I just kind of took a deep breath and kind of plan everything out. I was like, okay, you're gonna do this. You're gonna let your parents know. Even though they thought you were with someone else, you still gonna be like, oh, this is where we're going just in case. I felt like I kind of had to lie to them for safety reason, but because let's be real, my mom would never let me travel by myself if she knew I was doing that.
Right.
So I had to do it when once I did that and started going out to like eating by myself, sitting around, I was like more aware of my surrounding now and just kind of clicked me. I'm like, I'm over here chasing people to do things with me where I can completely do it by myself. It's a lot more peaceful. Yes, I love to socialize with other people, travel with friends and family, but it's a whole different feeling. When you do it by yourself, it's like, now I can do it how I want to do it. I don't have to worry about, oh, do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to do that? No, it's like, you do this. And it's also make you like recognize different strengths that you have. Is that, oh my God, I didn't know I can literally be on my own
Right.
without feeling the need of relying on other people, even if it's my parents. I didn't know I can do that. Even now, when I tell people I travel, people be like, no, you don't. I'm like, I'm not proving nothing to you no more. Like the old
Right.
me used to be. I'm gonna let you believe that I don't, but me and God know that I do. So it's like
Right.
that's all
Right.
that matters. So
And
for
how does it make you feel just like self-love wise? Like, did you realize that changed like more when you went?
Yeah, it did a lot because it's so sad that before I felt like when I dressed up, I was like comparing myself to even my peers, my friends, and I'm like, no, now I don't have nobody there to kind of, okay, what are we all wearing? How are we all gonna look? Are we all doing this? Are we all gonna? Now it's like, no, I put on something that I feel comfortable in, look at myself in the mirror. Even now I have like a post-it note everywhere in my mirror. That's it. I am I am my true self. I'm beautiful today. I don't need all the approval. So just little reminder, kind of like boosting my own confidence is something we need because look at society.
Right.
So a different standard all the time for beauty is like when you focus on that so much, it kind of impacts your self-esteem. So now it's like I'm toning out everything with society wise. And I'm just focusing on more on who Serena is. Who is she meant to be?
Steep. And you know, one thing I did notice when you was traveling, most recently out of the country, you would post here and there, but that kind of died down too. Like you took a lot of pictures on your own time, and then when you came back, so was you taking a break from social media at the time, like to just enjoy, you know, where you was at and everything like that?
Yes, and also for safety reason. I'm like, I don't want to keep posting. There's someone find out where I am, and it kind of like fine. I was like, okay, she's over there. Let me go. Nah, it was also for safety, but also I was like immersing myself more in the culture, which is different than what I did before. Before when I travel, I just like did it because I wanted to travel to show the world. Oh, I'm traveling. Now it's like I want to learn about the culture. I want to just enjoy my own time, just be more in tune with myself and just experience different things. I even went to different like concert and stuff. Well, it's not like a huge concert, but it's like you know how some places you have a brunch and they do like live entertainment. I
Yeah.
did that and I met like random people I was talking to, and that was great too because I went up to people and talked to them, which I never did before. And I think that's where
Right.
my confidence also came from as well. It's it's amazing, honestly. I would suggest to anybody to do it. It's the best feeling you can ever do. And social media wise, honestly, I can't take a break from social media. You know that for sure.
Right.
Uh, what I did was I kind of like deleted it, like not permanently delete, but like uninstall it when I was
Right.
there. So that way I'm not so focused on it. And I didn't have Wi-Fi, so that make it a lot of better. The only time I had Wi-Fi was in the hotel. So I would take the picture and just save it. But once I get back, I was so tired that I just fall asleep. So I didn't think about posting it. I was like, okay, I'll just post it later. So now, even that, now you have to be careful because not everything people see on social media, they're going to support you. It might be wishing harm against you.
Right.
So,
That's true. That's true. Um, so what do you do? And I guess this would be a question for you and I. As of now, what do you do now to better your mental, to take time for yourself? What do you do in your life now that you did differently back then?
now try to lessen my social media. Yes, it's addicting, but kind of like try to delete it off my phone every now and then because there's still this tendency to kind of compare yourself to other people. If we know social media, we just show the good part, never the bad part. So I kind of
Yep.
distance myself from that. Yeah, I kind of became very addicted to the gym. I think a lot of people thought, I think you thought the same thing, that I was just going to gym more to kind of work out, but it was more for my mental health. Because if I don't go, I will have to deal with my inner thoughts and I'll break down. So it became very addicting for me.
So
Uh,
like when you went to the gym, it was more of a hiding type of thing mentally than it was a
yeah.
expressing in a
Mhm.
way.
Yeah. So rather than me telling people how I was feeling, I would just put it out in the gym. So it was like very addicting. So now it's like, okay, if I don't go to the gym so much, I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking about it more because now I can tell people how I'm feeling.
That's deep because you used to go to the gym. Like you was at the gym every day.
Yeah.
Like
It was,
literally every day you was at the gym.
yeah, it became so normal that people never noticed like anything was wrong because
Right.
I create like a whole routine for myself. Even if I'm going through something, people will never know because
Right.
it's like, she's always going to the gym. So everything's great for her. No, I was going to get that mental health together. So now I just have a more different schedule wise. Yes, I go to the gym, but I go for a different reason.
Right.
Just because I want to work out and it feels good to when you work out.
Mm.
Also, another thing now I do is take myself out. After this, I'm going to go out to Upper Fifth to eat. It's
And
like a
that's right.
it's a Korean barbecue buffet thing, so I'm gonna go take myself out to do that and just enjoy my own time. Sometimes I go for a walk. I started tracking my steps and stuff more now. I do like 3 miles walk around my neighborhood just to kind of
Okay.
my thoughts. So yeah, that's my life.
Very inspiring. That's something that I kind of need to do more so, like just definitely go out to eat by myself. I never went out to eat by myself. So that's something I am going to try doing. I could say like right now in my life that I did differently than I did now. Like I said, even if we're talking about the mental aspect, keeping stuff in, realize like back then I thought like, I'm not gonna say I didn't think my voice mattered, but you felt like your voice didn't matter. Not speaking on things because you feel like you're going to hurt someone's feelings, even though you're feeling like your feelings are going to be hurt, but you rather just keep it quiet. So I was very more like, I kind of bottled up how I felt back then. Yeah. And the more I've grown and the more I've learned is that how I feel is important. I learned that I am enough. So I know that if I feel like someone is maybe trying to be coming at me, or maybe I didn't like the way that they said this or did that, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna express it to family, even to friends. Of course, finding a better way of, if you know that person specifically, you know how they are, or defensiveness, maybe trying to talk to them in a different way, because I think that's also sometimes like that could be the biggest fatal flaw, is that people feel like, oh, I'm gonna tell you how I feel, but they're not really thinking about, okay, this person, they may be a little defensive, so I have to maybe talk to them in a different way or different. So I've learned that. But the more about myself, I learned that I am enough, to take time to myself, to read, to study, to just little things that I feel like is important to me to do that. But one thing that is on my bucket list is traveling by myself. I do want to do that. And I could say you've inspired me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like just picking out a state and just saying, okay, I'm just going to go here for like a weekend getaway or something like that. That is something that is on my bucket list to do prayerfully before the year ends. And if the year ends and I didn't travel, it would be the beginning of the year to do something like that.
No, definitely heard what you're saying. And something I had to like remember is that could also help you holding stuff in. It's only gonna eat you up more than letting it out. Because the more you hold it in, it's gonna come out at the wrong time. It can be if you're having a conversation with someone else, and you just trigger that, then you're gonna just leave it out on them. Then it's gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that, but because I bottled so much stuff up, it does eat us up a lot. So that's something
I agree with you on that, because I feel like I have done that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, this is going to be swept under the rug. And then when it came, like, it could be a whole nother thing we're talking about. And then it's kind of like, it comes out. So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. And even with the traveling thing, there is so much group, like on Facebook, the private group where you can ask for tips. You can just randomly post and be like, hey, I'm traveling here. And then tip, like any safety tip, it's all for females. So it's like no men, nothing is in there. So it's all the females telling you about their story. If they had a bad like experience, they're gonna let everybody know. So it's like you can read, and whether or not if women should be out after 10 p.m. working around that city, they're gonna tell you everything. So it's a great group. If you want, I can definitely show it to you. But
yes,
you can start little if you want to stay in the state, because let's be real, every part of the state feels the same to be at this point.
Right.
So start little by little and just do it. You're a mom, but you're still a person at the same time. So if you can do it, you can also inspire your daughter to do it. She said, oh my God, my mom did that, so I can definitely do it too. And that's the thing. As girls, we look up to our parents, our mother, more than we look up to our fathers.
That's deep.
It is, but that doesn't mean she puts so much pressure on yourself. Because remember, there's no book on parenting. Because none of us turn out perfect, including our parents. Even though they try to make you look like they're not perfect. We'll have that moments is like,
Mhm.
so you just gotta remember. That even I told a client, because she is a mom. She, of course, she's a lot older than me. She's 52 years, so she got 3 kids, old enough. Older, like one of them is like 30 something, but she's still trying to like make that life perfect. But I'm like, you're not perfect. So how are you trying to make them perfect?
Right.
So it's like something I had to kind of call her out on it. You can't try to make someone else's perfect when we were never meant to be perfect.
Right.
When it comes to perfect, I know what's trying to be professional, it's gonna drain you out.
No, you're right. You're right on that.
It's
Yep.
gonna burn you. So you just gotta enjoy this thing we call life, because we have so many obstacles.
Yeah.
Take the time, get to know yourself. And the best thing, once you start to know yourself, you start to reevaluate everybody around you. People even call that family that's not healthy for you. And now, one thing I would say is once you get to know yourself fully, you no longer need to tell people why you don't want them in your life. It's, you just slowly move away and let them question why it's in this person.
You're right.
So,
The best advice, I say. You always give out the best advice.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. So we will pretty much try to do this at least every other week. So you'll see Serena on more often, and we'll have specific topics that we're going to talk about. But this is just the opening from just checking in where we at mentally in our lives. How can we improve better as just women? But Serena, do you want to close us out in prayer? Just say a little prayer.
All right, Father God, I just want to say thank you for allowing each and every one of us for waking up today. I ask as we begin our journey into this world, guide us and protect each one of us as we get into our car. Take control of that car. Every step we take control of it. Those who are planning evil against us, I ask that you expose them and separate them from our lives. Father God, I just want to say thank you for the strength you give each one of us in situations that we never thought we could be strong in. I just want to say, be with our family, our loved one, whoever they are and whatever they're going through, the ones that are close to us and the ones that we don't know about, protect them, guide them, help them overcome any obstacles that are coming that way. Into the society, there is so much things going on, so many people getting hurt. I ask that you touch your hands upon us, guide us, protect us, and give us the strength each and every day. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Well, thank you, Serena, again for being with us today. You know, your first time on Mom's. Well, I can't hear you.
It was a pleasure.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.